What's up, everyone? Welcome to my channel. I am your girl, Ramona Samuels, or better yet, maybe I'm your woman. No, it's only right, family and friends, because of my years in the industry, playing on radio, doing interviews on television, that I give my 2 cents and my take about what's happening with Mavado's son, Dantay Brooks. Now, I'll just want to share with you real quick that I am so glad that Dantay is out as a young man. He has gotten a second chance. Whether you're young, whether you're old, want to get second chances, that's the biggest deal ever. And I am happy that the system is moving in that progressive direction to correct some wrongs, some mistakes, not only in this case, but in several other cases that we can mention right now. We're not going to mention it because it's all about Dantay. All right, so if you're new here, welcome to my channel. Once again, Ramona Samuels, right here on Ramona Samuels TV on YouTube. No, free at last, guys, free at last. On Friday, March 7, Dantay Brooks, son of Dancehall superstar Mavado, anyway, was finally freed from prison after spending close to 4 years at the Tower Street Adult Correctional Center in Kingston. Dantay was greeted by his closest loved ones alongside his co-accused Andre Hines. Now, guys, let's get up to speed or do a little back look at what this case was like before, real quickly. In 2018, prosecutors weakly claimed that Brooks and Hines were among 5 men who entered the home of Lorenzo Thomas in Cassava Peace in St. Andrew. So we're seeing that they said Dantay and the rest of the individuals who were involved, according to the claims, set the home on fire, which resulted in Lorenzo's body being burnt beyond recognition. In 2018, that's what has been said about this case since then. Dantay, who is said to be the instigator, he's now a free guy. Yes, he's free after the court appeal quashed his case and the charges that were laid against him and his sentencing, which was 22 years. Now, at that time, Dantay was a teenager. I believe he's now about 22 years old. He's a young man, and I am all for a young man getting the opportunity to be free again, which is what we humans deserve to be after all in life, free. However, sometimes we make mistakes. We're easily led by friends. We're easily led by sometimes even music that we're surrounded by, music that we're exposed to. We're easily led by even video games. We are led as human beings by our immediate surroundings, by the society that grows. So I want to say music in Jamaica have something where it will culturalize badness, I know lie me I tell. Yeah, and we culturalize who can, break the rules and them something there. We just culturalize everything that is wrong. That is something that is a part of the flaw in this society, in this culture in Jamaica. So we talk about it whole heap of times. We even went as far when we say me, myself, and His Majesty. We had the Excuse Me Driver movement that spoke about the negative and damning effects of lyrics that are sometimes not really progressive, not really positive on the brain, and what it can do to influence minors. Now, Dantay, as a young man, family and friends, even though his father grew into the success that he is, the gully god, dancehall superstar, purveyor of the culture, author of lyrics, Dantay, was exposed to that. Now, we don't know if we can pinpoint and say that his father's lyrics played a role in maybe some of the choices that he made. We just definitely can't say, but we do know that studies have proven to us that musical inclination and the influence of music and messages in music can shape how we think and how we portray ourselves as human beings, let alone someone who is so young. Now, I'm not here to talk today on how the music may influence the mind and even how society influences the mind, but rather how important it is that we look at what's happened here with Dantay as a young man, for the fact that he got a second chance, for the fact that he spent close to 4 years for a possible murder or a possible instigation of a murder. I don't know. I wasn't there. Lots of reports are saying different things. But what's important to know now, family and friends, is the fact that he is a free man. Now, whether he made the mistake, yes or no, he and his co-accused Andre Hines, and they're saying that it was several of them that were involved in this murder of Lorenzo, a young man that they knew. What's important now is the fact that a second chance was given and he's able to go and do anything with his life. And I'll bet that it will be something positive, because after spending so much time in prison, close to 4 years, so much time taken away from one's youth, one is able to reflect, and one shouldn't be making certain choices that may have led to situations, circumstances, and experiences by choice that could lead one to prison. I am believing now. I saw the freedom. I saw the look on his face. I was so glad. I felt almost like it was my child being freed from something that had a negative impact on them. Of course, going to prison is negative. I felt really good because as a mother myself, and a lover of children, a lover of the youth, people who know me, they know this. They know that I am all for positive things happening to children and happening with children and happening with young adults and happening with us overall as human beings. I am definitely into that, because no matter sometimes what our past is, we can look towards a positive future. So the system giving a youth another opportunity, a second chance, reviewing all that was at stake, reviewing the matter, what the prosecution had said, what the defense had said, all the intricacies involving that case. After all the time that has passed and now being free, may I celebrate that freedom there for a youth, for a young man. It could have been a young woman. Whether or not it's my youth, I feel good about that, because the youth is the future. The younger members of Jamaica, they are the future. They are the voices. And sometimes when we pin negativity on people and punishment on them from a young age, it can hold negative ramifications in the long run that now go pretty in a society. All right, so that's my take on it. I also want to mention and point out that Mavado, he spoke out. He made a post on his Instagram. I am ready to speak. To God be the glory. I am elated. I'm elated alongside you, Mavado. He's elated, and I quote, that my son Dantay has been freed from state-imposed hell that he endured for 7 years of his young life. At the same time, there is a fire raging in me. Yeah, Mavado, understand? A fire raging in you. A fire raging in me, as I'm quoting what he said, at the injustice that has taken place. A trial without a jury. This is what he said. Decided on by a lone judge. We're later realizing and we're seeing where that this was actually a decision made by Dantay's attorney to basically have a trial with only a judge. That's what reports have claimed. That's what reports show. Stepping outside of the court of Mavado, I'm not sure if Mavado he knew. I'm not sure if he understood or understands what that is, but I don't want to preempt anything, but I just want to clarify that it was their choice to have a trial with just a jury, a judge rather, making the decision based off the statements from the prosecutor, statements from the defense, evidences, statements from the witness, and there have you. That is how the judge would have come to his conclusion and the decision. However, 4 years later, we're celebrating the freedom for Dantay. Now, going back to the court of Mavado, the judge who chose not to take into account the amount of times the single witness changed his statements. The witness in this case was the father of the individual who is the victim, who was murdered. Now, as it stands, family and friends, that we know Dantay and Andre were the ones who stood trial, were the ones who were sentenced. But from what we are hear from the shout is that it was several of them who went in. I am not quite sure what happened, why it happened, who was involved. But what we're looking at right now is the fact that the youth is the future. And this message is to every youth who are in a badness, every youth who think badness is cool, and everybody overall who sometimes get negativity pinned on you. You see, once you get this second chance, don't play with it. Don't fly in the face of second chances, whether you're innocent or you're not innocent. Second chances speak volumes. It shows that things can reel in for the better, even after it looked gloomy and like it was the worst. Even if it was something that was against you wrongfully, a second chance speaks volumes. And with this second chance, we're wishing Dantay the best, I'm familiar with Mavado before the stardom, so naturally I'll have that feeling, that kind of connection where I'd want to see the best outcome. And of course, to the deceased, it's unfortunate. Anybody who died through violence is unfortunate. We're sending love to the family members. It's not something that you can get over, especially in the manner that it happened. We don't know. We wasn't there. I don't know. I wasn't there. But a burst of positivity. A lot of people are rooting for you, Dantay. So we're just saying, keep your head high. Don't fly in the face of second chances. Your father work hard and continue pushing for the best for yourself. All right?